Coming up, we headed to Seattle to talk to fans about the Cougar turnout at the Apple Cup on Saturday.
From the Northwest Public.
Yeah, I would say like one Coug fan equals like 6 UW fans.
And we are getting into events going on during family weekend.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Hello and welcome to Murrow News 8. I'm Brooke Bovenkamp.
And I'm Sam Fulton.
The Cougs pulled off an impressive win at Saturday's Apple Cup in Seattle, winning 24-19 and bringing back the trophy to its rightful home in Pullman. But ahead of the game, some fans expressed some frustration given the location switch to Lumen Field, which is being called a neutral venue. We journeyed over to Seattle to ask fans how they were feeling after Coach Dickert gave the fan base some tough love in a press conference ahead of the game.
If you're pissed off from what happened, show up. Right, if you're excited about it, show up.
According to UW Athletics, playing at Seattle's Lumen Field was part of a 5-year agreement to continue the rivalry despite no longer being in the same conference. But Lumen Field was branded as neutral ground for both schools, which sparked some strong reactions from fans.
Well, neutral as in it takes about 10 minutes to get to Husky Stadium and about 5 hours to get to Martin Stadium. Doesn't seem very neutral.
While some chose to play devil's advocate despite their frustrations.
I don't know where else they put a neutral stadium. Ellensburg can't hold it. Spokane would be us neutral.
Others took the high road.
I don't think I'm going to dwell on it because I think the enthusiasm's there. I think it's, I don't know, not being Pac-12 and how it's, you know, the band broke up. It's a little bit tough.
A few hours before the game outside of Lumen Field, there seemed to be a lack of crimson.
We're here in Seattle. We've got a beautiful view of the Apple Cup here. We're seeing a lot of purple flooding through, but we're hoping that the Cougs are going to balance it out. I've talked to a lot of people that say they've got a lot of friends coming from out of town and they're here to support the Cougs.
And fans had a lot to say on why the turnout could potentially be smaller this year.
The ticket prices were a joke for a lot of people. I mean, when you first look at the first ones, it's all over $100. Wow.
Despite the rumors, this Coug and his fellow out-of-state Coug alum kept the faith, showing up despite the circumstances.
I want to be able to share and give back to the university and show the colors, man. I don't care where I'm at. People will always show up and show out, so not worried about it, and plus, we're fun.
And with a Coug win on Saturday, I think it's safe to say the Cougs did just that.
I'm Brooke Bovenkamp reporting here at Lumen Field. This is Murrow News 8.
Coming up later on in sports, we will have more game highlights and an emotional clip from Coach Dickert.
Coming off the Cougs' victory Saturday night, there were more couches set on fire on Pullman's College Hill. This time, 4 couches were torched after the Cougars won the Apple Cup on the west side. The victory couch fires are a dangerous tradition with a long past. 3 sofas were torched after the WSU win at Top 25 Wisconsin in 2022. 2 couches were burned after the Texas Tech home victory earlier this month, and a dozen couches were burned after WSU's home win over Top 25 USC in 2017.
The first of WSU's 2 family weekends held each year is coming up this weekend. Family Weekend is a great opportunity for Coug families to travel down to Pullman for a jam-packed weekend filled with sporting events, concerts, tours, and more. This year, there will be a football game on Friday kicking off at 7 p.m. against San Jose State, followed up by a performance from Peter Rivera, the original lead singer of Rare Earth at Beasley Coliseum, Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Tickets and more featured events can be found at family.wsu.edu.
At the start of the weekend, WSU police sent out a campus-wide safety notice, alerting students that a level 3 sex offender moved to Pullman and is currently taking classes on campus. The individual is 52-year-old Joel Vance Lawson, and while he is not currently wanted by law enforcement, police say the notification was provided in the interest of the public's safety.
A new mugshot has been released from Ada County Jail depicting Brian Koberger with a beard and a red jail uniform. This is the first time Koberger has been photographed since he was transferred to Ada County Sheriff custody after the Supreme Court approved the motion for a change of venue filed by Koberger's legal team. Coming up, WSU's spike in tuition and how the decrease in enrollment has played a part.
WSU administrators requesting another tuition plan that calls for a 3% increase in tuition for the 2025-2026 school year. Tuition rates hike in Washington due to median hourly wage in the state. The WSU regents will have final approval in January.
Enrollment is continuing to drop at WSU for the 5th year in a row. WSU regents will receive the enrollment report during their meeting next week, but according to meeting documents, the enrollment headcount shows about 25,685 students attending WSU this fall. WSU has lost about 6,000 students since the record enrollment of nearly 32,000 was set in the fall of 2019. WSU has dropped to its lowest enrollment since 2010.
Former President Donald Trump was the subject of an apparent assassination attempt at his Florida golf club. The FBI says it was an attempt of assassination on Sunday, just 9 weeks after the Republican presidential nominee survived another attempt. An agent fired and the gunman dropped his rifle and fled in an SUV.
2 victims were found dead after a fire and explosion at a gas station in Clearwater County in Idaho. Investigators from the Idaho State Fire Marshal's office have been sifting through the debris after the fire Wednesday, and the main focus Thursday was just locating the victims. The coroner's office will work on identifying the victims and notifying families. The explosion was reported just after 3 p.m. Wednesday, and 2 people with severe burns were flown by air ambulances to a hospital in a nearby city. So I know we were both at the game over the weekend, and there was some rain. Jose, is it looking like the rain is going to continue into this week?
Thanks, Brooke. Yes, it is. Today, there was a little bit of rain on my way into town. It is now really cloudy. It's with a high of 71 degrees and a low of 49. And that kind of weather is just going to kind of continue on for tomorrow, which is going to be a high of 65 with a low of 45 with a 70% chance of rain tomorrow. So just more rain going on. And then let's look at our state map here. Olympia with a high of 66 and a low of 50. Seattle with a high of 69 and a low of 53. Yakima is going to be one of the hotter ones with a high of 81 and a low of 51. And we look over here to Tri-Cities with a high of 71 and a low of 56. Spokane high of 81 with a low of 53. And of course, us with a 71 and a low of 49. And looking at the 5-day forecast here on tomorrow, like I said, it's going to be raining, and then on Wednesday, high of 68 with a low of 44, and also on Thursday, it's going to be a fog. So that's pretty much it. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks so much, Jose. Coming up, we have more on the Apple Cup. Some highlights from the game that led to the Cougs bringing home the trophy.
It feels like no matter where you look, the state of the world's getting worse. Oceans full of plastic, an endless amount of waste, an impossible task ahead of fixing our beloved planet. But change can't happen if you do nothing. So here's where you should start. Reduce. Why? Because Americans produce more than 200 million tons of waste every year, and you don't want to add to that. Reuse. Why? Because reusing and repurposing cuts back on unnecessary waste, and it gives things a chance at new life. Recycle. Why? Because recycling creates jobs. It helps our community and it helps our planet. And after doing all this, what will we be left with? We'll be left with a planet that will slowly start to heal. We'll be left with more money in our pockets. We'll be left with more opportunity for work. And most importantly, we're left with hope for the future. So reduce, reuse, recycle.
WSU had an incredible win Saturday against the Washington Huskies, 24-19. Redshirt sophomore John Mateer went 17 for 34 with 245 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Redshirt junior Josh Meredith was the leading receiver for the Cougs with 7 catches for 111 yards. The Cougars would not have come away with the win if it was not for the goal line stand and the incredible game-winning tackle by redshirt senior Kyle Thornton.
Rogers, option, pitch, didn't get it. They stuffed him. Cal Thornton, the captain linebacker, with a game-saving play and a loss of 1. Victory formation in the Apple Cup takes a knee. The clock will do the rest. Jay Dickert will celebrate an Apple Cup win over the Huskies, 24-19.
And after that amazing win, Coach Dickert had some touching words. Let's take a look.
I love this team. They stayed here for this. Sorry, I'm emotional, but I love these guys. They love each other. We said we were going to win this game not because we hated them, but because we loved each other. And that's what you saw there for 4 quarters.
Such an amazing victory, and now with that out of the way, we can look forward to Friday's game. Friday Night Lights is coming to Martin Stadium after a great 3-0 start with a 24-19 win over the Washington Huskies. The Cougars face San Jose State. The Spartans are currently 3-0 after a 31-10 win over Kennesaw State. In their last meeting, the Cougars beat San Jose State 31-0 in a historic 2018 season with Mike Leach and Gardner Minshew. And Washington State volleyball took on rival Washington Friday night in Seattle and fell 3-1. The Cougars had 2 in double-digit kills and 2 who hit .280 or better on the night over the 4-set match. On Saturday, however, the Cougs bounced back after going down 2-1 and beating UC Davis 3-2. This also marked their 3rd 5-set win this season. Katie Ryan led the way with 19.5 points on 17 kills and 4 blocks, while Sage Brustad tallied 13 kills, 2 blocks, and 2 service aces, along with 12 digs. Up next, the Cougs continue on the road in California to take on California State University Northridge on Thursday. And on Sunday, the Cougar soccer team fell 4-1 against the Georgia Bulldogs. The Bulldogs scored 3 second-half goals to seal the win, while WSU sophomore Natalie Lewis scored her first career goal in the 70th minute for the Cougs. The Cougs returned to the pitch for a trip to Logan, Utah to face number 9 Utah State on Thursday at 3 p.m.
Coming up, we have a fun, festive event for all of the family.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. We lose some of the best moments, some that may never repeat,
Come on.
or detach from people around us. Our loved ones grow used to this pattern. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. It's never too late to live a full life again. Hear how many of us Vietnam veterans have managed our mental health and reconnected with our families. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
That is all for us today. Thanks so much for tuning in. For more content, follow us at Murrow News 8 on YouTube.